There we go. What's up, Eagle?
Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 460. Hopefully, you guys have had a great day. I've had a pretty decent day myself. Very nice to be back in the 11:30 time slot with my guest, Ep460 Gardens. Hopefully, I got that right. How you doing, my friend? You want to tell me how you're doing and where we can?
Pretty good. And you can find me at Yucca420 Garden 1 on IG, Instagram, and Yucca420 Garden on YouTube, and then Yucca Gardens on Facebook.
Well, again, thank you very much for having you tonight. You taking the time out again. I believe this is our third run, possibly, at making this happen. And I thank you very much for being patient with me and coming back for another try, my friend. From the bottom of my heart, I greatly appreciate it.
It's all good, man. I know people get caught up in things. I get caught up in everyday things. Shit happens. I got kids. You got kids. So I think he throws up.
Yeah, move a little bit.
There he is.
So I know I asked you if you had anything to smoke on, but what do you got packed in the chillum there? What do you got? What do you have there?
I have some cheese, and then I added some wax to it. I picked up today from the dispensary. Second time ever going there. You know, I just had to check them out. You know, it's hard to find wax. I don't know. I don't have a good connection. I have a okay connection for flour myself. But yeah, I went to the local shop, which is around the corner from me, and picked up this $40. And it's not bad. But that's why I packed in there. With a little bit of cheese and
Sounds pretty tasty. I'm actually getting ready. I should have showed it before I chopped it up there. A little bit of the Colombium I just took down there. Compliments of Miranda Family Farms, North Star Genetics there. Pretty good, man. Pretty good so far.
it's called Durban Durban Kush. Not sure if you can see it.
It's nice looking stuff there. It's nice looking stuff.
Like it's almost like a hard like candy rock type deal. Not bad. Chunky. Throw it on top of a bowl. That's what I do. I can't have glass bongs, you know, I got kids. You know, they throw balls, CDs, you know, toys.
Man, I have kids. I am my own worst enemy. My pipes get busted because of my dumb ass. It is because of my kids. It's because of me.
I got cats. You know, we got 2 cats now. So I mean, the cats already they done jumped on my tent. It's like, damn, man. I have my mom sitting here like, damn, I get you high. You're my high on cat, and you go fucking around the goddamn tent. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell, cat? Yeah, she even opens up the drawers to get into where treats are at. Fucking smart little cat.
Fucking close it and she fucking opens it back up.
Sounds like a smart cat.
I would show you, but I don't know where she's at right now. She's hiding from the kids. The kids terrorize the cat all day.
Well,
But yeah,
I'm sure they
I'm
keep
not-
each other busy.
I vape too, but it ain't very good for you. This is just nicotine.
So there's the cat. That's a big old cat. Holy cow.
Yeah, she's only a year old. She'll be 2 next year. We call her Silly Lily.
But yeah, she's my little high on cat. Our male cat, he's like, as soon as you blow any smoke towards him, he's gone. Her nose goes straight up in the air, and she's like, give me some more. Huh. She's a weird cat.
Some animals are like that. Some animals love that shit, and some of them just don't like it, man. I'm the same way, but I have dogs. Some love it, some hate it.
This is our skittish.
I obviously. Holy cow, that's a nice black cat. No superstition over there, huh?
Yeah, this cat was like, we first got him, he like stayed underneath our bed for like a whole month. Like the only time he would come out was to go to the bathroom, drink, and get something to eat, and then he'd be right back underneath the bed. I'm like, come on, man. Almost a whole month, and I'm underneath the bed. I'm like, all right, this is it. Either you're gonna come out or otherwise I'm gonna go underneath there and get you out. And then now, ever since he comes out, he follows me around like a little lost dog.
Little,
He's like my little shadow.
So, yeah, that's another big. They're both big, good sized cats. To be honest with you, nice little cats though.
yeah, he's 10 pounds.
So, when was your first experience with cannabis? When was the first time you got high?
I'd say around 14, maybe 15. But the first time I ever tried it, it didn't really do anything for me. Now, the second time when I was 17, the second time I felt the effect, and I was like, yeah, I like this better than drinking. With drinking, you get a couple shots and you start feeling, ugh. 3, 4 shots later, you might be spinning half a bottle of tequila, you're hitting the floor. And then if you drink too much, you don't remember shit. But being high and smoking, you can smoke as much as you want to, and you ain't gonna crash into shit. The only thing you're gonna do is get the munchies, or fall out. You might fall asleep. Might get stuck to the couch somewhere. Oh yeah, I got
That
this
has
hat from
happened to
Amazon.
me. I've gotten stuck in a few couches, my friend.
I've had some shit back in I want to say 1998. I took 3 hits off this joint, and the person that we got it from, me and my cousin, the guy that we got it from, was like, hey, guys, as soon as you hit this, you're gonna be calling me back. Everybody's wanting. He said, but I got only like 3 grams left. If you want more of it, come back and get the last 3. But it was expensive. It was like $40 for like 2 grams at the time in 98. And we're like, okay, so we rolled up a joint and I go to take 3 hits off this joint, man. I'm damn. Started feeling dizzy as shit. My heart was pounding like a motherfucker. I'm like, damn, was this shit fucking laced or what, man? So I told my cousin, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go back inside and I'm gonna chill out for a while, man. I'll be back. I never got off the couch, dude. I went inside, sat down, and that was it. My heart was pounding. And I'm just sitting there. I didn't want to smoke a cigarette. So I was afraid it was gonna make it even fucking kick in 10 times worse. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, man, now I gotta take a leak. So then my mom comes in and she's like, yo, are you all right? I'm like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, but I can't get up off the couch. So she pulled my arm up and I start walking down the hallway. And I get there and I saw the door open and I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm fucked up. So I went in there and I splashed some water on my face, ran some more water, acted like I was going to take a piss, but I didn't want them to know that was all fucked up. So I go in there, start splashing my face around, go in my brother's room, turn on music, chill. No, nothing out of the ordinary. Start calming down. Start like, hey, all right, I'll go ahead and smoke a cigarette, right about now. Bad mistake. It was like fucking kicked right back in, and I was like, whoa. After that, I was pretty much hooked, man.
Sounds like some pretty fun times there. You must have been pretty good with the guy there. Most times when they had that really good shit like that, they didn't want you to come back and buy them out like that. Every time I found like some good bud like that, and I came back real quick, they were like, whoa, easy
Man, I
now.
never had some shit like that before, but man, that shit kicked my fucking ass. And ever since then, I was like, man, I've been on that search for that type of weed. I'm like, damn, man, that shit was good. So just makes me wonder, was it laced with something or what?
No, I think it was just the youngness and still I don't know, just a little bit left of the barrier. I don't know, man. But I had right around I think it was my junior year, I had some cannabis. Right around, I guess, 16, 17, like that. Had some good stuff. Made me laugh my ass off like that. And I haven't had anything like that to this day. I actually had wondered like that for a minute too. If I wouldn't have known the guy that grew it or his dad had grew it back then, I would have wondered the same damn thing, to be honest with you. But I'm hoping it's still out there.
Right, because I smoked some Mexican red hair skunk before and it didn't have that type of effect on me. That shit was, Mexican red hair weed, man, that shit was pretty good too. Apple, like they had this one stuff called Johnny Appleseed that was going around Coldwater back in 2000, 2001. That was all right, decent weed, but it wasn't compared to that.
When was there? Did you ever get busted by your parents?
Yeah, I got busted by my mom a couple of times, but then she's like, "Oh, you're gonna get your brother smoking weed and this and that," and it's like, well, I hate to tell you this, but he's already smoked. You know what I mean? Because he's a teenager already, man. And he in this a little ass town, and we're all friends with a bunch of teenagers all hang out together. You know what I mean? But yeah.
So 17, pretty steady there.
17, 18, 19. And then there was a couple times where I got locked up. And then when I was in my 20s, I want to say about 20, 21, I ended up getting locked up for a little bit. And after that, I started straightening my jacket. And I want to settle down because I was tired of getting in trouble. You know what I mean? It's just not, after a while, getting into trouble, drinking, going to jail, doing stupid shit, it gets old. Even now, I won't even go to the bar. Even now, people are like, "Hey, you want to go out and have a drink?" You can't get me. Nope. If I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink at home. And I keep telling people, one outing could be your last outing. You could end up in a shit box for the rest of your life. Nope, something backstab. Oh yeah, this is some edible candy that I ended up getting up at the shop too. Now my wife, she's not a smoker, but she'll eat these edibles. Even though she's had a couple of worse experience on them, she'll still eat them. Just like woman.
Yeah,
so she's like, okay, I'll just All right, I'll just
I
take
feel
it
Uzi and I
slowly.
go like down. I feel like I'm lightheaded. Like I was drunk.
And then
I
even
don't,
when I'm
I
going,
still, that's still good though, right? I mean, at least she's still open to at least the edibles, huh?
Yeah. It's strawberry, banana, and orange.
but yeah, after like I stopped like wanting to get into trouble and doing bad shit, and ended up in jail, and I ended up with my first kid with my ex-wife,
Big
and ex-wife and first kid, yeah, off probation. Now I got kids working. It had to make ends meet. Get our taxes. We try to end up selling some weed. That didn't work out. I ended up getting some like dirt weed. You know what dirt weed is? Like the first time I ended up with some good shit. The second time was all right. The third time I ended up with this dirt fucking brick weed shit, man. And you can't flip that. I don't give a fuck how you try it. You might as well just toss that shit in the trash. I was mad and I just didn't fuck with the dude no more. And then like in that process of time, my ex and I were going through a rough patch, I would say. And then like we ended up going through a divorce, and that's how I ended up with her. And ended up with 6 more kids after that one. So I got 7 kids altogether.
Well, 8 probably.
Holy cow, that's a lot, brother. That's a lot.
But then like I ended up going through a period of time where I didn't smoke at all. Like when I got with my wife now, I wasn't smoking, was barely drinking. We'd go out and have a couple of drinks with our friends or whatever at the bar. We didn't have no kids. We could pretty much do whatever we wanted. Well, then I ended up with a really bad tooth infection. And, I ain't got no teeth now for that spot. Ended up with a really bad tooth infection. I ain't never did no hard drugs, but weed, alcohol, and what was prescribed to me, which was Norco, a painkiller. Now, I didn't realize how addicting painkillers are until I got fucking hooked on them myself. Like, I heard stories about people telling me, oh, it's the worst thing to do. But hey, when you're in pain, your mouth's throbbing, you can't fucking sleep at nighttime. They're prescribing you fucking pills like candy, like, here, take this. Here, take this. Okay, well, fuck. I took a pill, man. It was like, I don't know, it gave me a fucking boost of energy. Pain was gone. Fucking, I felt like I could do a million things at once if I wanted to. I'm like, hey, this is all right, and it's prescribed by the doctor, so fuck it. That's gotta be all right. Little did I know, once they cut you off of it, you're fucked.
Somebody one head. Oh,
I think
But
that's
yeah,
part of the trap is that doctors, you do think it's okay because it came from the doctor. I think that gets a lot of people too, my friend.
and at first I kept telling myself, I'm not gonna be like one of these people that's gonna get hooked on shit. I had to tell you, man, it happened to fucking me. I used to be ashamed of it. Now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I don't care anymore. People can say whatever, man. I know how the fuck I lost my teeth. And I know, and I'll tell anybody. You laugh at somebody without no teeth? Okay. Get a motherfucking toothache and have your jaw swell up fucking like you swallowed a baseball or a softball or some shit. Then come talk to me. Or when you lose a family member because they didn't have the Medicaid to cover to get their shit fixed, and they ended up, prolonging it, and it fucking killed them. You don't want to have that happen to you either. That's a bad situation. Your teeth could fucking kill you. And I don't think many people realize it. A dentist had to explain that shit to me. And then I ended up losing, somebody that was close to family. Wasn't taking care of his teeth. Got a really bad infection. Went straight to his brain and killed him. I had a buddy, and it was my ex-wife. It was her sister's dad. He gets out of prison, right? He goes to prison. He gets out of prison, ends up slipping and falling on some ice, right? Slips and falls on some ice. Just a bone in his elbow, it goes straight to his heart. He gets released from the hospital, goes home, tells his family, hey, I don't feel right. I'm going to go to sleep. Boom, that's it. He died. Bone went straight to his heart and fucking killed him. Talk about some fucking bad luck, man. That's trippy. That's trippy, man. You're not even fucking expecting that you get killed, get took out by some fucking ice, slipping on some fucking ice. Chip a bone in your body, gone.
Life can be short, that's for sure. That's why we should always be good with people, man. You never know, man. You never friggin' know when your time comes, man. It'd be scary. I actually had a tooth infection like that too, man. This front tooth. Got a kick there and cracked that tooth, and they kind of flipped a little bit the way they sat. And that fucking infection went straight up. Fucking my whole face blew up. You could even tell it was me. I looked like the elephant man. And they wanted to put my ass in the hospital. And I begged them. I'm like, please don't put me in the hospital, which in hindsight, I almost wish they would, because the damn antibiotics they gave me were like costly. That was all out of pocket, man. Them things are expensive when they get to that. But it would have almost been cheaper to go. But yeah, that shit's scary, man. Very scary.
Yeah, I was lucky enough not to end up in the hospital. I don't like needles to begin with. I hate needles. But like, when you're in a lot of pain, you're like, all right, well, fuck it. I gotta get this done, because if not, it could fucking kill me. So it's like, but then it's like, yeah, once you get a tooth pulled and stuff, you're like, oh man, fuck, that's a lot better,
Yeah, that relief can help you a lot. That's for sure. So did you end up, did you get hooked on, did you develop a habit from the medication from that? How long did that last?
Like it took them, I would say 2008 is about 2008, 2009 is when I first started getting my teeth worked on. And then like the last of my teeth I got pulled out in, I want to say 2016. So from all that time, it was, you know what I mean? It was on. I'd get pain. I was like, oh, I need to go see the dentist. But I couldn't tell if it was like my head telling me, or if I was actually in pain from whatever teeth I had left. But then what was an eye opener for me was I ended up mixing like two pills together that shouldn't have been mixed together, which is like a oxy and a Norco on top of each other, which made me feel like I was about ready to stop. So I ended up going to the hospital. I'm like, yo, I didn't want to tell them. like, hey, I just took a couple pills, to try to kill some pain. I shouldn't have did it, but fuck it, I was in pain. Plus, I was jonesing too, so I mean, it was an eye opener, man. Something I never want to go through again. So I'm like, I tell my wife now. At that time, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just stick to weed. I'm gonna just smoke it, and then I'll just learn how to grow it. And fuck, I'll be my own fucking doctor. Now, what the problem with that is when you go to tell your family members that, hey, you are coming off of addiction from something and you're going to be going to a switch to like medical weed, they're like, oh, you're just going from one drug to the next drug. What? No, I'd rather be on weed because at least weed's not going to fucking kill me. Pills fucking destroy your liver, kidneys, and they're not good for you. But you couldn't tell me that a while back, I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, nah, I heard stories about people getting addicted to them. And then I got addicted to them, and I was like, fuck, man. But now, I'm glad. I'm off the pills and sticking to weed. Feel a lot better. Not a fucking asshole as much. I mean, I still have my bad days.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
But I mean, when you're on pills, it fucks with your head like really bad. Because like me, I got kids. So not only was I mixing pills with like I said, it was like an upper to me. Hey, I was going on 3-4 hours of sleep, going into work on an 8 to 12-hour day shift, like fucking nothing, Pop a pill and I was good to go. First half of the day, go home at lunchtime, pop another fucking pill, and I was good for the rest of the fucking day. Go home, pop another fucking pill, and I was good for the next until I decided to go to bed and do it all over again. But now when I didn't have any pills, that's when like I was feeling like shit. And you don't want to feel like shit at work because every little thing's gonna irritate you, it's gonna piss you off, and you're gonna have a really bad day. And majority of the time I had bad days because of that.
Man, I can't tell you how much I am glad I am to hear that you take that because man, that shit is very dangerous. And oh man, I'm just glad to see anybody kick that, in my opinion, demon. That's the word I'm gonna use, demon. Because it pretty much is. Now I've lost a good portion of family to prescription pill addiction, and so that's one of my reasons for being such a cannabis activist is to, just to see people get off the opiates and pills. So I love hearing stories. I don't love to hear the fact that you had that problem, but I love to hear the fact that you're coping and you're doing now these days with cannabis. So
I got my big supporter right here is my wife. Even though I ain't got family support, I got my wife, I got my kids. That's all that matters to me. Everybody else is either a bonus or a little speed bump in this case. You know what I mean? Yeah, I ended up quit smoking cigarettes and I've been vaping for a while. I gotta give this up too. Nicotine's not very good for you. No, gotta do something.
Wifey helped them. I helped them with getting off the cigarettes to get on the e-cig.
But I got like, I have anxiety issues too. And I think I have a little bit of PTSD issues. And shit comes from getting robbed from back in the day and shit. And then from fucking anxiety. Probably came from fucking pills, you know. But they got me on, the doctor put me on Zoloft. And I told the doctor, like, you know, just came off, like, being addicted to pills, man. The last thing I want to do is, like, fucking go down this fucking road again. You know what I mean? I don't want to take something and get hooked on something. I'd rather just smoke my weed and let the fuck alone. And the doctor was like, oh, you know, well, you can still do that, and you can try this, and there's no side effects and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know, but I'll try it, you know. If it helps me not look out the fucking window 50 times a day and being paranoid all the damn time, then fuck, you know, I'll try it. Cause I'm paranoid, man. I don't fucking trust pretty much anything. I've been fucked over too many times, and I know a lot of people, but I don't fucking hang with nobody. I hang with my wife's family, and that's pretty much it. And another grower, and I really don't even hang out with another grower. He's just somebody I talk to every once in a while. You know, I call him a good friend.
It sounds like you got a good base there anyway. The folks that you do hang out with seem like they're great folks, good supporters of you. So that means a lot, you know. Hang with a good base like that, you don't need a whole lot more, really. Most people think they just have themselves. You're lucky enough to have a good support group there as well.
Right. I'm like, if I can't smoke somewhere, if I can't go and smoke somewhere and be myself, I ain't gonna fucking go and just hang out there. Now, if you're gonna be drinking and having fun, drinking ain't fun to me. But hey, to each their own. I don't care what you do. But if you're gonna tell me I can't smoke somewhere, then don't even invite me. I'm gonna be smoking regardless. You know, I'm gonna find a spot to smoke, either outside in your garage, in the backyard, or in the fucking basement, bathroom, somewhere. I'm smoking.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be too long before we outnumber the drinkers by any means. I'm not a huge, I'd like to see cannabis be decriminalized where anybody can use it. As far as like the rec goes, yeah, I'm somewhat of a supporter there, excuse me. I'd like to see my medical take first off, but uh, everybody needs their own. But I think weed's gonna overtake alcohol, no problem there. Recreational smokers, at least around here, are coming out of the woodwork. They have a local event by me. They had like this last weekend, and it's usually an alcohol event, the Bud Bash event there. But I seen the one and only dispensary that's by me, and they had a sign that said "Real Bud Bash," and they had pointed to them. And I'm thinking to myself, I seen that, I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be too much longer before this Bud Bash is a real like Bud Bash. And then alcohol will be like the backseat of the festival. I don't think it'd be too long. Yeah.
Right.
He did drink about
I mean, I've lost family members to alcohol. I've lost a cousin. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Remember that big fight that happened? The two big, I think it was like Mayweather or something in 2017. Well, on that day, my cousin was walking with his sister and their half brother and his girlfriend and their little 5-month-old baby. Well, these people, were out drinking. This man and woman was out drinking. All the kids and stuff decided to go down and go get something to eat or go get ice cream, whatever. It was 9 something at night. The car goes up, runs them over, doesn't even fucking stop, man. Just fucking keeps going. Just keeps going, man. It took them 3 months to catch these fuckers, man. He killed a 6-month-old, 6-month-old fucking baby. He killed my cousin who was 21 years old. He killed his sister that was 11 years old. And you just fucking keep going, man. I don't get it. But then these idiots get caught, right? The dude blames it on the wife. The wife blames it on the guy. So they go to jail. He gets bonded out. He goes out drinking again and gets into another fucking accident. But this time nobody gets killed. They tries to run, and then his excuses this time was, "Oh, I knew I was gonna go to prison for a while." So you get another fucking vehicle after getting drunk. And I don't get people, dude. That dude should have never fucking been let out of jail. You know what I mean? What if he would have went out and killed a whole another fucking family? He just fucking killed 3 fucking people and you let him out of jail on fucking bond? And then he gets into another accident?
Yeah, it's scary. I look back. It's been a long time since I've touched some alcohol, but I think about all the idiotic times that I made the mistake of getting behind that wheel. And thankfully never hurt anybody back then. But man, you know what? People take that risk every night, like you said, man. Think they're okay and don't do something wrong, hurt a bunch of people or hurt themselves. And, oh man, I can do without the alcohol. I can do without the alcohol. Like I said, to each their own.
Right.
That
Dude,
has
I
no place for
don't
me.
mind people drinking, but if you're gonna drink, at least get hammered at home and fucking stay at home, man. Somebody call the phone. Somebody is always willing to go and drop you off a fucking bottle of alcohol. It's that goddamn important. Get another drink. Or call Uber or something, man. If you're at a bar and can't make it home, call Uber. Somebody will take your ass home. Taxi. Somebody, Either that or fucking walk. Walk home.
Just a walk.
Yeah, I'd rather see somebody walk home than get into a vehicle and killing somebody. That fucks up not only the person that they took out, their family, but it also fucks up the driver because now he's got to live with that, and then fucking this side of the family. It's a downward effect. You know what I mean? Because now that person is his family is gonna be looked at as like, hey, your uncle, your brother, or whatever took out these 3 people, not only 3, but a little baby, man, and then just kept going. Like, how the fuck can you live with this? Like, seriously. I know I wouldn't be able to live with myself. At least not enough to fucking go out and do it again.
No, it's pretty heartless. Very heartless. So when did tell me about that first grow? What made you decide that you were gonna take that first step in putting some seeds or some clone in?
When they first legalized it, I was talking to this grower, and I was like, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about growing. And he's like, hey, you know what? Fucking go for it. And I was like, well, fuck it then, okay. And I was like, if I run into any problems, you're gonna help me out? And he's like, yeah, you know. And I was like, all right, well, fuck. So I started looking online, looking at seeds. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
this looks all right. This looks all right. Started watching your YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, this looks all right, and pretty much easy. Boy, was I wrong. I thought it was gonna be easy, but nope. My first grow, I was running auto, and I ended up I think I ended up pushing too much newts, and it ended up burning up a couple. It on top of the spider mice that I had. So that didn't help. The plants looked like shit to me. So, hey, somebody was like, oh, you know, you can still wash those off. They'll smoke them. Me, I looked at them and I made that. They didn't look smokable to me, so I just tossed them. In the trash they went. Started over again. I wouldn't say like my second round was all right. About the third time is when I was like, you know, I don't want to have to keep buying seeds and fucking plants up, so why not just try to breed this shit and then like go from there and then see what happens. So I'm like, okay. So I tried to go and watch some videos of breeding. Okay, take some male, take some female. But then I was missing the whole other part, genetics. Everybody keeps talking about genetics, and now I'm like, okay, I see about genetics. Because now I got this Girl Scout cookie, and if she doesn't do what I want her to do or think she's gonna do, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to breed her with something else unless she does something like spectacular, like stacks on some big ass fucking nuggets, some shit out of here in a couple more weeks. But if not, I ain't gonna breed her with anything else because what's the point? If it ain't something that I'm looking for. I mean, if it's good weed, then I'll breed her with something else, maybe. But if the way that she's growing is bushy and shit, looks like a fucking Christmas tree almost. And I even topped it I even gave her a top and took some branches from her, and then it just like pushed straight out on me. Well, what the fuck, man? My other ones didn't do that. So I'm like, all right. So I took a couple clones from her. Well, what I thought were clones, anyways, to try to re-veg and like, oh hey, you know, hey, I want to keep this and hang on to it. Or maybe I'll have a buddy, you know, a personal grow me that I have. Like, hey, you know, you want to try this one out? Fuck it, man, take it. And I've already hooked a couple people up with a couple plants. And I told them, you kill them, but, you know, keep going. And just ask and I'll bring you back a plant or a clone or whatever. Just don't take my kindness as a weakness. That's just shit that I don't like. That shit kind of pisses me off. Because I can't fucking do shit because I got fucking kids. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I won't find a little crackhead out here that might fuck you up. No, I'm just joking. Don't take me serious. But you know what I mean? When you have kids, you got a lot more shit to fucking lose, and people know it, and they try to get one over on you because of it. Because they're like, oh, he's a dad, so what's the odds of him gonna come after me and fucking take me out or get revenge on me? Because he's got a 50-50 chance of going to jail or going to prison. You know what I mean? And I've already been to jail, and it's not fun. I haven't been to prison, and I don't want to go to prison. This shit ain't fucking worth it.
Definitely not. Definitely. So, are you a soil grower? Do you? I mean, what is your medium of choice?
I'd try. My like go-to soil right now is Happy Frog. Like I want to say, I think like what Fox Farm.
Yes, sir.
I think so. But that's what I've been using, and then like I wanted to try something that's not gonna have me like I don't know. I want to try a couple of different experiments with things because I already tried like advanced nutrients, which I wasn't a big fan of their nutrients. Not saying I'm not shitting on advanced nutrients or anything. Anybody out there that likes them, but I'm just saying it wasn't my cup of tea. Would I ever go back to them? Maybe, but I still want to try other shit out. You know what I mean? So like I went and got some incredible bulk, which is a nutrient. I showed that to you. But after I think I used a little bit too much on a couple of my plants because that's where the leaves started looking all fucked up. But the buds are still looking nice on it though. I mean, can't really say it's stacking, but it's putting on the weight. I mean, I guess I couldn't really hurt it too bad. And there's a couple plants where they still look bright green, and the leaves on it are still looking good. The tips of them show a little bit of nutrient burn, but other than that, they're fucking starting still. So it's like, well, damn. All right, this strand over here, the one that I bred, a crossbred on my own, might have been a little bit picky, or maybe I added a little bit too much to it and misjudged it by a half week or a week or so, and gave it too much at one point in time. Fuck, I don't know. Either way, it's still a learning experience, and like I tell people, if you fuck up, just keep going. Even that life, if you fuck up in life, keep going. If you think you hit rock bottom, you can always go further. Sometimes you're better off rolling solo. Sometimes that's it. Sometimes I'd rather roll solo than around a bunch of people.
So, what's been your favorite strain to grow so far?
I want to say G13 and the cowboy cookie that ended up crossing. Now I didn't know anything about cowboy cookies or how it was gonna grow or anything like that. I didn't do a real big study on the GMO or the site that I got the seeds from. So I was just like, wasn't really paying too much attention to genetics. I was looking more at, fuck, I don't want to keep blowing money on seeds for killing plants. So why not just breed a couple of plants and get some seeds, and if they die, they die. If fucking I get something out of it, I get something out of it. It's still smoke, right? At the end of the day, it's still smoke. It may not be the best. It may not be the greatest, but anything's better than smoking fucking brickweed from back in the day. You know what I mean? If you ever smoked brickweed, you would know it. You would take Reggie over brick.
I've smoked enough fucking brickweed to build a goddamn house. It seems like. I hope my kids or anybody else never sees that shit other than possibly in a fucking museum, a cannabis museum. At one point, this was cannabis. A little fucking pound brick right there.
Trash can breed. Trash can weed. That's what it is. Right in a trash can. Landfill.
The only way that fucking brickweed got any worse is when it was loaded with just crushed seeds in that crushed bud. Oh man, that was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Glad them days
I didn't
are
like
gone.
the fucking headache that it gave you after. You know, like you'd get high for like maybe 10, 15 minutes, but then the headache fucking was a bitch. It's just like, oh man, and the taste was the taste was even worse. Oh.
Yeah, definitely not the tasty of herbs. But man, it did the trick back in the day. I can't completely knock it. You know, when I did get it, I was more than likely happy to get it most times, unless it was loaded with those smash seeds. But again, things I hope the future generation never sees. Fucking, I mean, fluffing up. Do you remember having to actually fluff up the brickweed? Hit it with a little steam and just kind of fluff it up a little wee bit because it was just so sad. You're like, oh yeah, glad those things are.
After getting that brickweed, I ended up fucking saying, fuck that connection, because, you know, you burn me once, that's it. Fuck that shit.
So, what was your first thing? Do you remember the first kind of like actually could be after getting into the brickweed for so long? What was the first one that was like, holy shit, now that's something? Now we've got something. That ain't like, oh, man, holy shit.
My cousin ended up having some peach weed. It smelled like peaches, tastes like peaches, but when you lit it, it was skunky as hell. But I mean, it was fucking nice. I never had weed that tastes like peaches before, or smelled like peaches at that. And it's like, this is actually weed. This shit is actually pretty fucking good, man. Especially from the little town that it came from. And that was at like 2005, I want to say.
Yeah, peach terps are definitely tasty in cannabis. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the peach terps. So, yeah. Oh man, I can't believe I've been at the top chat all this time. I missed you guys' comments.
Look at that. Oh no.
Hopefully, you didn't drop the good stuff.
Nope. It's all on the desk. It's still there.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, chat room.
So, are you a Michigander or are you just supporting a Michigan State shirt?
No, I'm actually in Michigan.
Oh, no shit. That's pretty cool. I really enjoy meeting another Michigander, that's for sure. Cheers.
But like I tell my wife all the time, if I had it my way, I mean, if she was willing to, I would get a mobile home, a big ass fucking mobile home. I'd load all what's up with it, and I'd hit the fucking road. If I had my own little grow area where I could grow, take my little medicine wherever, you know, I'd hit the fucking road and just go. I'm ready to. I'm getting up to the age where I want to see shit because life is short, you know. You never know. Like I said, old boy got out of prison, slipped on the fucking some ice, fucking cracked his elbow and went straight to his heart and fucking killed him. You know, you fucking that's fucked up. You know what I mean? It's just thinking about it, you know, you're in prison all that time. You get out when you're free, you fucking slip on some ice and take a shower. That's fucked up. So you know what I mean? After that, you know, it's just like you start looking at life a little bit different and it's like, man, you know, not only that, you could be sitting like right now in your house and a plane, part of a plane could fucking fall on you and kill you. Tornado could come kill you, but a car could come crashing through your fucking living room and take you out, or your bedroom, or whatever. You know what I mean? Life is too short, so why not go out and fucking live it?
Definitely agree and appreciate that attitude right there. That's for sure. Life's too short. Life can be too short. Might as well get out there, live your dreams, not put some shit off. That's for sure. I agree.
And another thing too is don't let people guilt trip you into not coming and seeing them, because the phone and shit, they both work the same way. Cars, vehicles work the same way. You know, bottom line, people go see them who they want to when they want. Don't just take it personal. And if you're around negative people, then you're gonna end up being negative just like them. I try to stay away from negative, because then I become a negative person, and I don't like to be a negative. I'd rather stay happy. That's why I like weed. I try, weed keeps me pretty much.
Me too. Me too. Are you close enough to be able to attend the cloud cultivation on the 27th and 28th?
Where's it at?
It's in Clio. Clio.
Mile?
Clio. Mid-state, down by Flint, Clio. No. Are you up? Where roughly? Are you northern Michigan, southern Michigan? Northern Michigan. There's good spread.
I can tell you this much. I'm about 45 minutes from Battle Creek.
All right.
Maybe less.
So that.
And about 50 to about an hour away from like Hillsdale, Jonesville, and probably about Coldwater as well. All those areas are my stuff. Coldwater, Hillsdale, Deconcha, Homer. I got family up in Baldwin, Lake County, Ludington, Grand Rapids. I think I even got a couple of family members up over the bridge.
It's different. It's beautiful up there, but man, I think it's slow living up there. But people up above the bridge there are definitely laid back. I don't know. It's too slow living for me up there.
I don't know. I got in a lot more trouble in low ass towns than I did in a bigger town. Bigger towns, you got more stuff to keep you from getting in trouble. In smaller towns, you really ain't got nothing. No. Like up in Lake County, like when I was a teenager, the only thing we had up there was the roller rink, which turned into a nightclub on a Saturday for us teenagers to go. Why majority of the parents would get drunk at the fucking bar. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're familiar with like Lake County, Baldwin, and those areas anywhere like that.
No, I can't say I have, but I'm pretty familiar with small townish though. I definitely have lived in a few small towns. You're right. There's a little bit less eyes, a little more freedom to do what you want. You can get yourself into some trouble in a small town.
Oh yeah, like in Deconcha, there was only one cop, and the cop would only come around like during the weekend. He might pop in and pop back out. But at nighttime and shit, us teenagers, man, would walk around the town with a fifth of vodka, fifth of whiskey. It didn't fucking matter, Walk, ride a bike. Well, who's gonna say something to you? The parents sleeping, their kids drinking with us. And then, you know, the parties up in the sticks and shit, no cops are gonna go up in the sticks. Well, now they will. Now they got big ass vehicles and shit that they drive. They'll go chase shit down through the woods now, four wheelers and shit. Back then, they ain't gonna go fucking up their vehicle, their pretty little fucking vehicles and shit. To go bust up a
Yeah,
fucking.
that's how we got in trouble in the small towns right there, man. Growing up as teenagers, all you need to do was get that alcohol. You know what I mean? Because if we could find the alcohol, all we had to do was hit a fucking back road. You hit a
Right.
dirt road, man, you were good. You were fucking good. Just wander
And
up and down them dirt roads all day. Shit. Hell yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
or find one of those fucking like little ass pond lakes or whatever that people go fishing at. That turns into a nice little party lake for skinny dipping and shit. Growing up on a lake was fucking fun, man. There's all kinds of shit to fucking do in the summertime. Wintertime sucks. There wasn't as much people around. I mean, there was people, but the only thing they did was ride four-wheelers, not four-wheelers, but snowmobiles and shit. So some people weren't really wanting to talk to you. Couldn't meet no girls. The majority of the people that were coming up in the wintertime was all dudes ride fucking snowmobiles.
Yeah, fucking lake winters can be fucking pretty gloom and doom. Oh man, look out over that lake and see
No,
nothing but gray.
We had to, when the lake that I lived on was Wolf Lake, and the bus stop was like maybe, I want to say a mile and a half, if not longer, to fucking walk. In the wintertime in fucking Lake County, there's times where the snow got really fucking deep. And them buses sometimes, just the school buses fucking ran all the time. You didn't really get too many snow days. So those buses are running and you lived around the lake, you lived on a side street, man. That bus ain't gonna go around that lake to pick your ass up. Your bus stop's a mile and a half, if not longer, to get to the bus stop, just to get to the school. If not, somebody's gonna have to drive you to school, which is another 5 miles.
Man, the bus drivers make that money, and they do, man. They earn they don't make enough money, but they earn that shit, man. Especially like you say, man, up here, it's like winter towns or northern lake towns. I'm up near one myself, so I can definitely fucking relate up in northern Michigan. I didn't realize, I grew up downstate towards Flint area, Owasso, and winters, snow came and went. But when I moved up here, man, that shit keeps coming and coming and coming. And bus drivers down there, man, they'd call that shit couple inches. No school. We moved up here, I'd be like, yeah, you guys aren't gonna have any school tomorrow. No. The fucking bus drivers were there was days like where I was like, man, I ain't fucking leaving today. The fucking having to load up a bus load of kids in fucking 6 inches of snow, man. Nerves of fucking steel that I don't have like that. Holy shit, man. They earned that cash. They earned that. Shout out to the bus driver.
I got suspended from school because my grandma told me I went and skipped school one time, right? And I got on the bus, so I went to school, but I left school ground. And my grandma's got a phone call like, yeah, he's supposed to be at school. They're like, no, he never showed up. But I went to school, but I never went inside school. You know what I mean? So like I skipped the whole fucking day. Like I didn't even go into school, so how the fuck did I get even suspended? How are you gonna suspend me? And I was 17. If I really wanted to, I'll just fucking drop out. What are you gonna do then? I was a cocky little asshole at that age. You know what I mean? Because you could, at the age of 16, you could basically drop out of school. You know what I mean?
Uh, a little cocky for my own good as well in the younger years. That's for sure.
So I was a cocky little ass. And the principal really didn't like. But anyways, I was like, so how the hell could you suspend me when I didn't really want to be here in the first place? And I said, so by you suspending me is actually doing me a favor. Now you just gave me 5 extra days to do whatever the fuck I want. Thank you. Job well done, lady. But yeah, man.
So did you put any of that energy into sports?
No. I don't know. Like I tried out for football and this big dude named Stanley Hill that was at on Baldwin's football team. He was trying out with us and I was a skinny dude. So when this dude was like he had to weigh at least 200 pounds and I was weighing like maybe 110 pounds. So when this dude hit me, man, I went flying back at least 5-10 yards. And after that hit, I was like, nope, this ain't for me. This dude about damn near fucking killed me. Like, yeah, this sport ain't for me. And the coach was like, who the fuck gave him the ball? Who the hell told him to run? What the fuck? He was like, no. Cause you know, he's looking at me, he's like, he's just a skinny dude. What the fuck, man? He's like, you guys trying to kill him or what? I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, man. That's a fuck sport. But no, I'm more of fishing, pool. I like playing pool. I like fishing. I like biking, hiking. I like pretty much being outdoors. You know, before when I was growing up, you could always find me in the crowd type of person, but now you can't find me around nobody but family. And some people might take it personal, but I don't care. I can't stand being around fake people. You know, people that smile in your face all fucking day long, but then talk shit once your back's done, man. Family do it, friends do it. So it's like, what the fuck do you even have for family and friends, man? I'd rather just be alone. At least I can be myself.
You find some good places to do it, that's for sure, man. Forest, around the lakes, fishing, man, it's a good place to be, man. Getting back to nature. You know, as I get on my older age, man, getting back to nature, it seems to be uh, more a top priority now than it ever has. To be honest with you,
I love fishing.
I can feel
It's whether you're catching or something or not. It's just like it's the calm. And plus, I take my kids with me, so if they catch a fish, you know, their eyeballs light up. So that's the best experience and a memory right there. That's always gonna be with you anyway. You know what I mean? It's one thing that they'll always cherish for the rest of their life. My dad never really took me fishing when I was younger. Didn't really do anything with us kids that actually remember. So I'd rather, if I have the opportunity now to do it, because I put my family, what they used to put my family last, but now I'm kind of putting them first because, you know, I'd rather be around these guys than around a bunch of assholes.
makes
Granted,
sense.
I ain't making
Makes
the money
sense.
that I want to be making, but
That's all perspective, dude. To be honest with you, in my opinion, that extra money, whatever. I look back at my, you know, my experience raising kids, and I always justified those extra hours, you know, for them. You know what I mean? For them. Oh man, I want to give them everything I have, that whole mentality and shit. I honestly would have traded all those gifts for hours with them looking back. You know what I mean? It would have probably did us more good just that time. I mean, especially looking back now. I mean, time's the most valuable fucking thing we have. The older we get, the more valuable it is. And yeah, I would have definitely took more days off, stayed more days home. That's for sure. If I could do it all.
I sure want to let my boss fucking guilt trip me in from feeling bad, taking time off to get my teeth fixed. That's for damn fucking sure. I wouldn't have put it off for as long as I did. I would have told him, you know what, my health is more important. That's but yeah, I get it. We gotta do what we gotta do, you know what? Money is not everything. Hell, my uncles used to, they were alcoholics till the day that they were fucking, till the day that they died. Two of them lived on the street majority of their life, you know what I mean? They were alcoholic bums. But they lived one hell of a life. They were always happy. They might have always been drunk, but they were at least always fucking happy. They weren't harming nobody. They weren't working. They would actually go out, pick up cans and bottles to, feed their habit for the alcohol bottle, or whatever. They weren't druggies. They just had an alcohol addiction. And growing up, when you got alcoholic uncle, you always got a drinking buddy. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I got $5. Can you go give me a bottle? I'll drink it with you too. Sure. No.
That's funny. Yeah, that my uncle was definitely one of the first people to expose me to the alcohol there. Shh, don't tell your dad.
And my uncles would always tell us too, if you're gonna drink with the older gentleman, you're gonna drink like the older gentleman. So we drink it straight from the bottle. No chaser with like pussy. Oh, okay. So, so you're taking Jack Daniel's shots with no chase. Straight from the bottle. That burning sensation going straight down. First 3 shots are hell. The fourth one, yeah, it's all right. Jack Daniels, Kessler's, R&R, fucking, you name it, man. Jim Beam.
Oof, it's making my stomach hurt. I do remember. I do remember all those days. Holy shit.
I had a buddy get mad at me one time because he would leave his old lady at my cousin's house. Because remember, it's a small town. So my cousin and him would go out hunting. So, like, he would leave his old lady with me because, somebody had to watch my cousin's kids while they would go out hunting and shit. So this dude, which was my buddy, he would leave his wife in the house with me and my cousin's kids, Well, one day, my cousin decides to have his kids stay with his grandparents. So then it's just me and my buddy's wife. It's just us and us. And when I ended up going to the bathroom, when I come back out, she's just laying there butt ass naked. A normal person would have been all on top of that, right? Not me. I ain't that fucking person. I'm sitting there like, as bad as I wanted to fucking tap it, I couldn't do it. She was married. You know what I mean? Plus, her man was my friend. I couldn't do that to him. But when he found out about it, he was pissed off. he was mad. Cause he was more mad at me than her because I saw his old lady naked, which is understandable. I wasn't married at the time, but as pissed off as he was, I should have tapped, I should have fucking tapped it. As much shit as I fucking got. And he tells my brother, and my brother says, he looks at him and says, well, you're the dumbass that left her over there with him. So what the fuck were you expecting, You should have been, at least he didn't fuck her. And I'm sitting there like, I should have fucked her. She wasn't that bad looking. I should have fucked her. And if he's watching this, maybe he's feeling bad, or maybe he doesn't feel bad. I don't know, but I don't feel bad. I don't regret. Maybe I do regret. I'm fucking her though. As much shit as he fucking gave me. But no, I ended up drunk. I ended up drinking and mixing like Kessler and Jack Daniels one night. And he came over and we're all drunk. And I didn't really, at the time he was pissed off at me, right? So I'm drunk. He shows up. Now I'm instant. So I call my uncle. I'm like, hey, is Baker around by any chance? Because I know somebody that just showed up here that he's been looking for. And he's here right now. And this guy, which is supposed to be my buddy, ended up stealing some shit from this other buddy that happened to be my uncle's buddy. Okay. Well, I'm pissed at you, I'm drunk. And I know this dude doesn't like to fight fair. And he likes to use weapons and shit. And before I get in a fight with this dude, I called my uncle. Because Baker happened to be there. Baker ends up showing up. And as soon as Baker comes in, he picks up the dude and slams him up against the fucking refrigerator in my cousin's place and tells him, she's like, I told you what'll happen when I find you. You stole some parts from Brubaker and I want them back. Or I want the money back. And then you're going to go back out and you're going to tell him you're sorry. You're going to apologize. And then you're not going to ever fucking go back out there again. So the dude they ended up getting broke up. Cousin split them up. And somehow I ended up with my hands on the hammer. And as the dude's going out the door, I'm going out there with him with a hammer. And he's driving this nice ass fucking Mustang. And as he's going out, I got somebody grabbing my arm, trying to pull me back in. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So he ends up getting in his car and starting it and fucking backing up and taking off. I got this fucking hammer. And I got somebody on my arm. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Let me go. I'm about to fuck this dude over this hammer, man. He ain't gonna fucking get away. But yeah, he ended up fucking getting away. And then after that, it's a small ass town. We ended up patching shit up and ended up becoming friends again. But he still brings up that story to my brother all the time. Your brother, he could have fucked my old lady. And my brother's like, well, what do you expect, You left him around him, you fucking idiot. But I should have fucked.
Chat brings up a good question. Did he lose other friends because of her?
Yeah, she's still a hoe, dude. She's a hoe. But I mean, he's a woman beater. So I mean, but in the same sense, sometimes I wonder maybe she had this shit coming, man. I don't know, but that was the whole thing that I didn't really like him from the get go. But it's a small ass town, and you couldn't really be picky who your friends were. You know, in a little ass town, little ass community, as big as the Concha is, Homer is, everybody knows everybody. But yeah,
So
she's still a hoe, and you know, I don't. He beat her ass a couple of times. I was there, and my cousin was there. We stopped it from getting too out of hand. But that was the whole reason why I didn't like him from the get. But like I said, I should have fucked her. He's a woman beater, you know. I don't like women. My dad was a woman beater. I seen a lot of that shit growing up. I didn't like it. I don't like cheaters.
it's not cool.
I don't like cheaters either. If you're gonna cheat on somebody, at least have the respect of either breaking it off with them, just not fucking doing it at all. Or see if the person's open minded to like having a threesome. That goes for you too, guys. Don't ever cheat on a woman. The woman could take you out easy too. But now you're playing with somebody's feelings. You know what I mean? It's not something you want to fuck. Not everybody so lightly when it comes to their feelings. There are some crazy motherfuckers out here that might stick a knife in your neck for fucking you sticking your dick in another little fucking chick out there. You know what I mean? or if you're like my step cousin who super glued her ex-husband's dick to himself and said that he caught some funky from a girl that he was fucking around with. I don't know. Could you imagine wake up and you got your dick super glued to your fucking to yourself, man? Makes you not want to cheat on you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thought I could do without thinking about for a lifetime.
And look at Marina Bobbitt. Marina Bobbitt's a good experience, you know? She chopped her old man and fucking flung it out the fucking window.
All terrible examples. Terrible thoughts. Terrible thoughts.
So think about that when you go want to fuck around on a female guy or girls. Not everybody plays so nice when it comes to their feelings.
You're right. You're right. 2,000%. Cheers, my friend. Firing up another fatty.
Oh yeah. That is the most fun I've had in a while.
So what kind of lights are you using over there? Are you indoor or outdoor? Have you grown outdoors or is it all indoors?
Where I'm at, I can't really grow outdoors because if I get caught, to check me out where I'm at. So I gotta do it inside. I grow inside. And right now I'm using the Beep, I want to say Bloom Plus 3000. I think that's what it's called, the Bloom Plus 3000 in my flower tent.
Nice.
And then in my veg tent, or in my ceiling, whatever you want to call it, I have just a cheap standard Amazon $25, $30 fucking light that says it's supposed to be 1,000 watts, but I don't think it's 1,000 watts. It's little. I don't think it's 1,000 watt light.
What kind of autos you like to grow?
The what?
What kind of autos do you like to grow?
Right now, I've only grown 2 autos, which was Cotton Candy Kush auto, and then the other one, I forgot what the other. I think it was a White Widow auto, and then I had a God's Green Crack auto. And I only have a couple of seeds left of those, so I don't really want to pop them until I decide where I can actually stick them. Because with autos, you can either leave them on for 18 hours on, 6 hours off, or you can leave them on 24 hours. But most people leave them on 18/6, right? That's from what I've been gathering. I don't know if somebody else might have another opinion, but I know it's not good to do 12/12 because you won't get as much blood at 12/12 as you would with
I've
18.
never messed with them myself, so I can't give you any good advice on the autos.
I only went with autos because I wanted to, going into this, I wanted to keep it as simple as I could without fucking something up, Because this was a job or something that I wanted to pursue or go into. I want to at least have more hands on and know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't want to be like, okay, well, hey, I think I can trim. Go ahead and I'll go ahead and fill out a job application to become a trimmer. And I don't have no experience at fucking trimming at all, or growing or anything. So how would I even know if I would want to become a trimmer? Right now, I'm having fun at just growing. And I can
Very therapeutic.
I can actually say, hey, I actually grew this and I knew what I did to it. And it's one thing if I harm myself. It's another thing if I give you something and you harm yourself. I'd feel bad. You know what I mean? So like if I grew something that got mold on it and I didn't realize it and I gave it to somebody else and it got mold and they smoked it and they had asthma or something and it sent them into an asthma attack because they smoked some moldy ass weed, I'd feel bad. Or worse, it fucked them up even worse than a little simple cough or whatever. You know what I mean? Same with seeds. Same with seeds. If I pollinated some seeds and I gave some seeds away and then they hermed out and it fucked somebody else's crop up, well then I'd feel bad. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, well, I don't really want to just hand out seeds either. But if I was to gift seeds, I'd rather get them to somebody new that wouldn't want to waste the money go chasing after seeds and then end up not even wanting to do it. You know what I mean? Or in this case, you give somebody some seeds and they grow it and they end up liking it. Hey, come back for more. Turn them into your seed testers, Hey, let's see what you can do with these, it might be 25% that it might hurt on you. Or 50/50 chance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Everybody should grow.
But then you hear about genetics, and then it's like, well, do I really want to start handing out seeds after a while? Because what if somebody doesn't like the genetics release or something? But then I was like, well, that's when you tell them it's either gonna be good weed, or it's gonna be point, or it's gonna be some pretty decent shit. It's all up to you. It's with anything, Anything to me is better than brick weed. But not everybody thinks like me. Some people are more picky, which I can understand. Hey, I'm a picky person too.
So as far as we talked a little bit earlier about anxiety and PTSD and all that, I find just the growing of cannabis, the cultivation side of things, even without, ingesting it, eating it, or whatever, I find can be a huge medicine all in itself as far as relieving stress and all that other shit.
Yep, I feel that sometimes if I'm having a stressful day, going in there at like as soon as time for me to keep my lights on at 12 o'clock, I'm excited because hey, I like to see the progress. Like right now, it's eating at me because I haven't went in and seen my plants yet since the lights went off. My wife went in and turned all my lights on for me because she knows she's got the routine down. So if I'm ever out and about and I'm out fishing, she can, hey, babe, it's time to shut the lights off. I don't like timers because anything could happen. I don't like to rely on a timer. I'd rather rely on people. If my wife's gonna be at home all the time, I can always count on her to turn off the lights or turn them on.
I'm training my daughter currently. Lexi, I believe, is in chat. Lexi, I. Yeah. If I'm not home, that's my call right there. Can you open the tents for me? Open and close. That's what's got to happen here because they offset each other. When one comes on, the light goes off. So some open, some close. Sometimes they, which ones? I'm like, it's just opposite. The ones that are open, closed. The ones that are closed, open. That's simple. Thank you. It's awesome you got the help. Sometimes we need help. We always need help.
Right. Like I started some plans for her, and I was like, okay, I started them. Now it's your turn to go outside and do what you want to. The outside is your garden. This in here is mine. So. Just like, but your garden is taking up half our place, man. Like, no, it'll be all right.
It's a huge tent. You can put a double bed on it. It's the master bedroom.
She's like, but it's eating up our bedroom.
With that being said, have you picked up any tips from the outside garden? Has she passed along any tips for you?
No, I gave her some water, like some extra water from feeding the plants. I was like, here, babe, add a couple bottles of water to it and go water your plants with these. If they do good, if they die, don't water no more. If they do all right, well, to go ahead and keep doing it. Man, her outside plants fucking took off like no tomorrow. It's like, god damn. Right on. Plus, we've had all this rain too, so rain you don't really need too much water.
So, are there?
I went out to the river today, and the river was up, man. It was the highest I've seen it all fucking summer today.
We have got some crazy rain the last few days, man. So grateful to get it. Hasn't even been in the forecast.
It was nice just to get out today, but fuck, man, we could only throw out like 2 poles. So I just sat there, I was sitting there just puffing away, waiting my turn, casted out. My kid caught a fish, I caught a fish. My brother-in-law, he didn't catch anything. He was a little upset. Like, it's all right, dude. At least you had a couple bites. At least you caught you had something on. He's like, yeah, but you guys caught a fish. And I was like, it's not always about catching. There's some days I don't catch shit. It just happens that way. But there's days where we go down there and we end up seeing like other shit and don't catch anything, you know, like that snake that came up that day out of the blue. But that was like something that you don't expect to happen. And it went right up to my kid, and my kid's like, you know, his eyeballs got all big, like, there's a snake. And it came right up out of the water right in front of him, you know. And then one day we're sitting there, my boy and my brother-in-law, a duck, right after a really bad storm, a couple days later, we went down to the river. A duck was out there swimming around in the river, back and forth, quacking around and shit. Came up on shore, quacking right at us, and we're like, what the fuck? It's like 4 feet from us, just quack, quack, quack. Like, what the fuck is your deal, dude? Like, what the hell?
Ducks are pretty damn cool. You're right. There's not even a bad day fishing. Is there even such a thing? Just getting out there and is worth it all in itself, isn't it?
There's days I caught turtles. I caught a 10-pound turtle, snapping turtle out of the Grand River one day. I was like, damn, man, this turtle. I seen the big ass head. I'm like, damn, that's a big ass fucking turtle, man. I wonder if I could catch that motherfucker. Sure enough, I threw my bobber down there with the hook. And the fucker took it. I'm like, oh, here we go. And you're talking about, man, 10 pounds, a turtle, 10-pound turtle, man. You don't think it weighs that much, but when you're fishing with a pole, your whole pole's it's bending down there looking like it's about ready to snap, and you're holding the top of it like this, trying to hold it so it's not snapping, you know what I mean? So you're not trying to snap your pole or your line. You got this big ass turtle, you're trying to walk it up, and my buddy's looking at me, he's like, dude, he's like, I don't want to help you, man. I ain't trying to get bit. I'm like, man. So here I am fighting this turtle by myself. So we get it up there, and he's like, I'm like, okay, man. So he puts it in his bag. He brought this double bag with us because he was a drinker, and I was smoking weed, you know. He was drinking beer. He carried his beers in this double bag. So we put this turtle in a double bag, and we took it to work with us the next day. Like, hey, you know, check out this turtle we caught. They're like, you caught that turtle? We're like, yeah, we're gonna let it go in the back over here, you know. But first we wanted to weigh it. That's how we found out that it weighed 10 pounds. It weighed 10 pounds and something else. But we put it on this big ass fucking pallet that we weighed pallets with. Put this turtle on this pallet in a box, and we weighed it out. We had people coming by, they're checking out this turtle. They're like, where the fuck did you catch that at? What the fuck they're doing in the warehouse? The bosses come by, they're like, yeah, can you guys please take that out? It's cool and all, but can you take it that way? Like, yeah, we'll go.
You ever eat any turtle stew or anything? You ever eat any turtle, period?
I don't eat anything coming out of the Grand River. You know, there's bodies that come out of the Grand River. There's fucking sewage. There's a sewage plant right next to the Grand River. Nah, you couldn't pay me to eat fish or anything out of it. I'll fish it. Then I'll go home and wash the shit out of my hands afterwards. But I ain't eating the fish. There's an old man that used to fish the Grand River, and he'd take the like WD-40 down there and spray his worms with it. And I'm like, yo, isn't that like ruining the river and shit? And I was like, do you eat the fish after you catch them after spraying that worm with the WD-40? He's like, yep, I sure do. I'm like, okay, go right ahead, man. But I mean.
So, are there any strains that you're hoping to grow sometime soon? Get in the garden.
Uh, right now, I got Granddaddy Perp going, which is either gonna be a male or female. So I'm kind of wondering because from what you guys are saying, genetic, I'm like, fuck. Maybe I should just do a couple things here. I don't know if I would want to like take the male and keep some pollen from him and try it out on a couple of different strands and try it that way, or if I should just let the male grow out and just let him do his thing, pollinate a couple of females that are cut, like 3, 4 different strands of other strands, and just play around with them that way and test them out. Because my whole thing is, I don't want to keep buying a bunch of seeds, but I would like to find one strand that I can say that I actually fucked with and grew that I actually like. You know, it's all learning
Right.
experience to me. It's all having fun right now, and I hope that I don't ever lose that fun. Hope it sticks around.
Have you started cloning yet?
Yep, I got a couple clones, and I gifted a couple clones away, a couple hands, and a buddy of mine said that they didn't do so good with him. So I'm like, okay, well maybe I just did it wrong. Or maybe he did something to him. So I'm like, okay, before I give out any more of these so-called clones or cuts that I take, maybe I should start fucking around with them on my own. And I'm like, okay, so now I offer them to another buddy. I'm like, hey, I got some seeds, or I have a clone, but I don't know if you kill it, I'll give you a seed that I popped, and it could be a male or a female. But with a clone, I know it's a female. So there's that. I said, but if you kill it, I can, I come back and I'll give you another. So I don't want him to get discouraged and be like, oh no, like I was at the beginning, like, oh man, I was about ready to give up a couple times on myself. Like, fuck, man, I can't seem to get this shit right. Done dealt with pests, done dealt with pH issues or fucking burning up heat issues or whatever issues I had. I did something the plants were not happy with. That's for sure. But it's all learning, and within time, you'll eventually get it. Where I'm at, everybody keeps saying you're not gonna have 100% grow, and I guess that's where I should stop looking at 100% and start looking at, well, if I run into issues, now I got something to look forward to correct. If the plant's not dead, if it's still showing signs of life, it's still thriving, just back up and let it do her thing. That's what I'm learning. Back up, let it do her thing. I figure the less I fuck with these plants, the better off. They do better on their own. The less I do.
Good advice. People try too much, try to manipulate the plant too much, I think. Try to overcomplicate it. That's for sure.
Now, I was telling people that I don't, the way that I pH isn't the way that I would say it is pH. To me, I could still make an error. A bottle could end up coming being shipped from Amazon fucked up, and I could still get the pH reading wrong. So I don't want to ever tell somebody that, hey, this way, the way that I'm doing it is the way that I would be pHing it. What if I'm thinking that it's correct, but it could be 50% correct or 25% correct. You know what I mean? So I don't want to mislead anybody. Plus, I have a digital reader, but they could fuck up on you too. So those are not always guaranteed to work on you either. So what way would you suggest somebody to go? Because I don't want to suggest to any a new grower to go, hey, like, okay, get some pH up and get a bottle of pH down, and then use this pH tester and you shake it and it shows you. But what if that pH tester that you get is incorrect, or that pH bottle up is incorrect, or the pH down is incorrect? What if it's been sitting somewhere for 5, 8 years and you just got a bottle? How do you know that the expiration date on it? Or what if what if somebody sent you a bottle of Kool-Aid just because it's orange and it says pH up doesn't mean that it's not Kool-Aid? I'm just saying there are some people that are scammers out there.
Hopefully, you're not buying gross supplies off them cats.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I'm just saying, you just never know where you're getting. And same with like advanced nutrients. I don't know. I don't want to give them a bad rep because I don't know how long that product was sitting on the shelf before it got to me. Maybe it was bad from the get-go. I don't know. I'm just saying it didn't work the first time with me. So I'm not. I ain't wasting the money on going back. I'm not dissing them or anything like that. I'm just saying it didn't quite work for me. So I'm going with something else. So I'm using Veg Bloom and what is that? Let's look at got the recharge. The recharge, I will recommend that stuff to people. Recharge, it does some wonders. I don't know what good it does, but it fucking works for me. Ever since I've used it, I've noticed some difference with it. I'm like, yeah, this stuff. Recharge, shit.
Definitely good stuff. Definitely good stuff.
And then
So, all in all, how many years would you say you have growing this amazing plant? Every year is a beautiful thing.
I've only been growing for about in February of this coming up year, it'd be 2 years. So I'm almost at my 2-year mark. I guess it's August, you got September, October, November, December, January. You got almost about 5.5, 6 months left to go before I'm at 2 years. And I made a lot of mistakes at growing. I fucked some shit
We
up.
all do.
And now I just keep looking at it as I get an eighth of weed of smoke, I'm doing all right. If I get more than that, I'm doing better. If I get a jar, that's even better. But I don't want to get to a point where I have too much and have to worry about somebody coming in, busting down my door and robbing me at gunpoint again, or have my kids ever look down a barrel of a gun ever again either. That's the worst experience I've ever had in my life. I never want to go to that again.
It's hard to believe that we're still in the stage where that could be a thing with cannabis, but it could be. It's one of the things, and I'm like, man, we all have the right to grow it. You have no excuse, I mean, if you're out thieving, you have no excuse. No excuse. Put some plants in the ground with or without a license. You have the right here in Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
If you're
It's
gonna
just laziness.
if you're gonna steal from somebody like me that would be willingly giving you a plant or some seeds, You don't have to rob me. I'll just give you some fucking plants or some seeds. Fuck, man. I'd rather have you growing it and then trying to be out here stealing somebody's shit. Or having to worry about you coming to rob from me. I don't want to be around them type of people. I don't want to have to second guess other people. If I have to second guess you, I'm cutting you off from you. That's it. There's no reason to keep you around. I can't trust you. If I can't trust you, then I ain't gonna trust you around my kids. Because the last person I trust, damn near took one of my kids out. Damn near took me out. Could have took my wife out.
I definitely agree with you on that. If I have a second thought, then you know what I mean.
That's why I
don't
said
even have me around.
You can't catch me around a bunch of people. I keep telling people I'm not a people person. Everybody keeps telling me, yeah, you are. But I'll fuck with you when it comes to business. But as far as friendship goes, friends come and check up on you. Friends come into your house. Friends ask you to do shit, right? If you ain't calling up on me and checking up on me, and I'm the only one calling and checking up on you, then I don't, where's that friendship line? You know what I mean?
Definitely agree with that.
People are family, you know, I had looked out for somebody that was a relative of mine many a times. Just to get this person to sit there and say, you ain't never did shit for me. Or he'd come into my house and look around and say, hey, you know, that looks like you got something new. You could have spent that money on me. I could have really used it. Well, I don't know about majority of people, but I worked my ass off to buy the fucking shit in my fucking place. To let another person come into my house and make me feel like they're entitled to something. You know what I mean? How would that make you feel?
This. I don't. Yeah, I know
It makes
exactly
you not
that.
want to go fuck with that person no more, right? Family, friend, whoever. It makes you not want to fuck with that person. But then they go around and tell other people like, oh, you know, he speaks bad about your shit, and it's like, I don't give a fuck what he says. Fuck shit. Because the next time that fucker comes and asks me for money, I'm gonna look at him and say, sorry, bro, I ain't got it.
This is what I think anymore. This is what I've learned about that kind of shit. This is what I think anymore about the he said and she said bullshit. If I walk away from you and I know I've given you my all, you know what I mean? I've given you everything I can. I've tried my best to be your friend, whatever you need me to be. And I turn my back and you talk shit. I'm good with that because in my heart, my soul, I know I tried. You know what I mean? Whatever you say after the fact, whatever. You know what I mean? There's nobody to prove but to myself. You know what I mean? The words, I could care what's being said behind. And I think too many of us do let that kind of shit eat at us and can eat at us. You know what I mean? It took me a long time to learn that shit, man. And I let that shit eat at me for a long time. It was hard to get, go not think like that anymore.
I don't know. A lot of shit eats at me, and like, especially some shit that this individual said to me about a recent relative, and I was like, I don't know if I could ever forgive him. And it's just like, I'd rather just bash his fucking head in. To tell you the truth, because that's how pissed he got me, dude. It's just like, the fuck you mean? I ain't did shit for you. I'm the only one that has ever did shit. The only one that actually looked out for you. When everybody else turned their fucking back on you. What the fuck you doing? You know, it just pisses me off. Like, what the fuck, dude? You just want to pick somebody up and just shit
I've definitely been there. I've definitely been there.
My wife's over here tapping me on the shoulder. She's like, chill out. You're being loud. You're gonna wake the kids up. You're not,
It is a little late. It is a little late.
No.
Well, there are 6 of them. I mean,
But I mean, there's a reason why I stay up at night, you know. Plus the feeling of somebody breaking in my fucking house in the middle of the night and then having to crowd around looking for something to fucking stop an intruder, you know, at least somebody's up. Or if a fire was to break out because one of the lights caught on fire or some shit, at least somebody's up.
we think alike.
You know, my wife says I worry a lot about shit like that, but it's like, I've been in a fire before and I've been rocked. And that shit just, I ain't trying to go through a fire in the middle of the night and then have to wake up and try to get all the kids up at. You know what I mean? Can you imagine trying to wake up and you got 6 kids and you're in like a trailer or a house or whatever and you're trying to wake up everybody, all 8 of you, and everybody's just, yeah, somebody might not make it out of that bitch alive. That's not the chance I'm willing to take or gamble. So you can call me paranoid, crazy, whatever. But at least I know in my heart, at least I can say at the end of the day, I protected my family with everything I had at the end of the day. Right?
Right? I've been on 3rd shift for them very same reasons. Very same reasons. For way too long. Way too long.
Like I said, there was days where I'd only get 3, 4, 6 hours of sleep and then have to take a couple pills just to fucking be able to function throughout the day at work. I was doing shit that I shouldn't even been doing, but what could you do? You have, you know, either work or don't have any money.
There is some definite benefits to the late night gardening, and that is a fatherly wind down or workday wind down. It's nice to get those few hours of quiet time, before you get to bed, start the day again. Those hours can be priceless.
I was the type of person that always had to be on time. So I would show up an hour before my shift even started, just so I could, get my day started, have a couple tokes, take a couple pills, eat, just before to try to wake up, and then start my day. As soon as 7 o'clock hit, my day was already I'd be all right, doing all right, like I could take on the world. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm definitely a fan of the wake and bake. Gotta have the wake and bake.
As long as you don't get too waked and baking where you're just like, oh, fuck, and then you pass right back out. I drink a lot of coffee too. From the time I get up till basically the time I go to bed.
Except tonight I'm drinking tea. But I do drink a lot of coffee.
I got Mountain Dew.
Now that shit will kill you, friend.
That's the whole reason why that shit fucked up my teeth.
Green tea.
Mountain Dew will fuck your teeth up. Matter of fact, that's what the dentist told me. He's like, as soon as I go in and got my teeth looked at the very first time by the dentist, he's like, you drink a lot of Mountain Dew, don't you? Like, damn, how the fuck did you know that? He's like, pop, it eats away the top portion of your teeth. Coke is even worse for it too. Coca-Cola is worse. Mountain Dew is even worse. All that sugar, acid and shit. But like the dentist told me too, everything that we eat that's processed has a lot of acid and sugar in it. So you can't really get away from it.
Yeah, I'm not a big pop fan. Not a big pop fan. I drink, like you said, mostly coffee. Fuck, I've been a huge coffee drinker since ninth grade. Ninth grade, I've been chugging that shit. I used to hike down to the fucking local gas station and get a fucking 32 ouncer of coffee and fucking hike back to the bus stop. So, do you guys make any edibles or anything like that with some of the trim?
I haven't got that far yet. The only thing I made so far was a smoothie out of the mill leaves. From the
That were
out of the cross that I did, I ended up with what the mill leaves doing it. I like this better. It's pretty good. I mean, when I read up about it, it said that it would have a bitter taste, but when you add it with ice cream, a couple of scoops of ice cream, and weed leaves, fuck, it didn't taste bitter to me. That shit was fucking awesome. And I actually got some fucking sleep for the first time. Actually woke up feeling refreshed. And the benefits from it, it has like health. You can get, what was it, vitamin D from it.
Yeah.
It has iron. So if you got low iron, eat a couple of fucking male leaf plants, man. Put it in with your salad. Throw it in, eat 12 fucking of them, 25 leaves, whatever. If you're a person that has low iron or vitamin D or whatever, why not? I don't eat a lot of vegetables, so I mean, eating weed leaves I guess I could say that's a vegetable, right? It's my vegetable. It works for me. It may not work for you, but it works for me.
It's green, plant-like. Sounds like it qualifies to me. We'll throw it in there. We'll throw it in the veggie category. I've heard some people like juicing them leaves, man, and like say making ice cubes out of them, and then adding them to drinks and shit like that, man. Hearing all kinds of good shit about like tightening up their teeth, fucking settling their stomach, helping with Crohn's and shit like that. I've never made it to that far to where I'm juicing yet, but man, I've heard a lot of great things about raw cannabis juice.
Like I would get aches and pains in my legs and shit. The very first time that I did that fucking, the leaves and the ice cream, then that very first night, I actually got some sleep and my legs didn't fucking bother me one bit. And I woke up feeling refreshed. I'm like, man, So now, then I started looking at my plants like, damn, do I really want to go for a smoke, or do I really want to fucking grow them out and just use them to put in shape?
Sounds like a pretty good combination. We need to find somebody to mix the three there. The the ice cream, the coffee, and the cannabis. I think would be an amazing combination.
Well, even
Every coffee ice cream, any ice cream with coffee in it,
No.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
my life says,
I don't like coffee. My dad drank straight black coffee. And all I do is think it's good and cool. I don't know how you guys drink that shit.
she's like, I don't know how you guys can drink that shit.
Oh, I'm sure he's very
We just do.
Take it any way I can get it. Take it any way I can get it most days.
closest thing for coffee for me is hot chocolate. Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah, I'm also hot chocolate.
Still
At
good.
first,
Comparable.
at first she was against weed.
I didn't want to do it.
She didn't want me to have nothing to do with.
In the way of that.
She didn't want me to have nothing to do with smoking cigarettes when we first got together. And I was like,
He was a heavy. Oh, that was the guy.
so she got me off of cigarettes, and then I started.
And got to slow down for.
But then I explained to her, I'm like, well, I don't really want to keep popping pills, and those pills are gonna fucking kill me. Well, at least I know with weed ain't never killed anybody that I ever loved. Not a single fucking person that I know of has ever died from weed. I know people that have died from pills, alcohol, not from weed. So why would anybody say weed is bad? Growing up, we heard weed was bad for us in school. I'm pretty sure you went through the DARE program. I went through the DARE program. Now I laugh at them like, shit, weed's bad? What? Get the fuck out of here, man. Do you see those commercials? It's when the person sitting at the drive-through at McDonald's or whatever, smoking, and their car's all baked, and the little kid rolls strolling by on a bike, and that's what happens if you smoke weed. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Where? Where the hell is that?
I agree. Every time I watch that commercial, I fucking thought the very, very same thing. Where in the hell? What stoners are doing that?
Fuck it.
So I just want to throw it out there that I'd say you guys came a long way from her not wanting you to smoke to supporting you on a cannabis show. I think you won that one. I think it's safe to say you won that one.
Yeah, she's my rock. I love this lady to death. That's how I was like, I ain't going anywhere. I gave you 6 kids and you gave me 6 kids. Where the fuck am I going? I'm paying child support on my 7th kid, my first kid up north. I'm paying child support on him. Oh, fuck that, dude.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. So if you could change any one thing with your girl in a dream world, you could do anything. You got some cash, whatever, you hit the lottery. What would you change in your girl? What would be the first thing you would change in your girl?
in growing weed or
Yeah, in your grow. What would be the first thing you would change in your grow? Stepping up your game. What would be the first thing you do?
I'd go with bigger space, bigger space. Then of course more lights. 'Cause obviously if you're gonna have the space, you're gonna want more lights. And then you're gonna want to talk to an electrician because you sure the fuck don't want to have a house fire. Or if you live in a trailer, you definitely don't want to live in a trailer and have that motherfucker go up. No way.
Or Johnny Cannesseed there in chat seen firsthand how bad that could be right there. It shit goes quick. Trailer parks can go quick. I would want to see it. And I hope nobody else sees that shit.
My wife's over here looking at the computer screen because I got it on the phone and then she's over here laughing, cracking up over what the chat said. And I'm like, trying to look at the chat and look at you at the same time. It's like, now it's fucking with me. Like, man, now I'm like, hey, and I'm looking at myself like, what? Like, damn. There goes my bobblehead that people talk about. Always bobbing my head.
I do it all the time.
What's up, Trap? Cheers, mate.
They've been giving you a lot of props tonight. They've been giving you lots of props. So, have you been to any of the cannabis events here in Michigan?
I'm pretty much a loner, man. Pretty much after that whole ordeal, after we got robbed, I just pretty much, I pushed off friends, family, pretty much everybody. I pretty much kept to myself, man. I don't really want to. I don't want to do anything. I just want to do me.
I can appreciate that, but in the same aspect, I gotta say, if you get the chance, I would stop in to a cannabis event if you get the chance. A lot of great folks. It will restore your, if anything, it will probably restore your faith in humanity a little bit. To be honest with you, they're good times, man. You see so many people, all different walks of life. Rich, poor, diversified in every kind of way, smoking down, passing joints, and it really does. It heals your heart a little bit when you've had some bad experiences. Some of the best times of my life hanging out in the cups, no doubt, no doubt. So, with that being said, I hopefully sounds like you've got a little mended to do. Hopefully, you catch at least one of them this year or next year. Don't rush.
But I just gotta get over. I just gotta learn how to trust. But like, trust damn near got me killed, man. Could took out my family. You know what I mean? So,
It's a tough experience.
and you can't really explain it to people because unless you ever fucking had that happen to you or ever went through it, I ain't never lost a kid, so I want to know how I couldn't go to a parent and be like, I know how I can understand how you feel, but I don't know how you feel. You're going to feel. I know how I feel. You know what I mean?
I've never lost one, thank goodness. I came close one night, one tragic day, but I just hope this. That's close as I hope I ever come to having to see a child lost like that. Very tough. Coffee's for closers. It is.
Yeah, I was reading that. My wife was reading it too.
So true, hillbilly. Hillbilly.
So I'm glad you've had fun tonight.
I got about 2 more years of paying child. And after that, hopefully I'm good. I've only seen him since from the time he was born until he was a year and a half. Yeah, 2.5 years old. And then him and his mom and I went through a divorce in 2007, right? 2007. 2007. And my wife now, she was pregnant, and we had to drive all the way up to Alpena, and I had to go on 3 hours of sleep, driving all the way to Alpena from where the fuck we lived, which was like a 5.5, 6 hour fucking trip. On 3 hours of sleep. It was rough, man. The morning part wasn't that bad. The driving back was a bitch. And I was the only one that could drive. My wife doesn't drive. My brother, he didn't drive. But
It's a
yeah,
long trip, man. Beautiful up there, though.
yeah, it's good. Salmon fishing is well worth going up there to do some salmon fishing up in Alpena. Same with Baldwin. And the rivers and stuff in Baldwin, Lake County. Lake County, I don't know if you're familiar with Lake County or not, Eagle, but Lake County has over 100 and something lakes. That's why they call it Lake County. And some of those
Pretty
lakes,
awesome.
like some of those lakes don't even have a drop off point. It just keeps going. and there's one lake called Rainbow Lake. The little ass lake, you can't even take a jet ski on it. You take a jet ski on it, you go whoop, hit the gas one time, and that'd be it. You'd be at the other end. But it's so little, you can see a horse, not a horse, but a buggy that went down with the old like horse buggy. You know what I'm talking about? It's flipped upside down, so like you can see the wheels in it. But it's like all mucky at the bottom of it. So like when you step in, you'll just sink. And you're looking at this buggy, and you're just like, damn, how the fuck is that thing? How the fuck is it still intact like that? Like, why is it still there? Like, somebody should have dug it out. You know what I mean? They should have took it out. But I don't know if it's still there. It was there in 1997 when I fished it. It was there then. I don't know if it's still there now.
Of the 100 lakes, how many would you say you fished?
Where?
I said, of the 100 lakes, how many of them would you say you have fished?
Not all of them. I say maybe a good 15, maybe less, 15 or less. I lived on the lake, so there was really no point in actually going out looking at another lake. You know what I mean? Unless it was to like dodge, to go out and party and try to hide from the popo.
I guess. Yeah, good point. Good point for sure.
Hey, I mean, if you like, I don't know, growing up and living on a lake, you know, you could go out skinny dipping and shit, drinking around on the lake, walk around the lake, get drunk. Nobody would think of it. Think nothing of it, you know? My grandma didn't. she was be sleeping and shit. There'd be times I wouldn't come back until like 5 o'clock in the morning. She'd be like, "Where the fuck were you at?" Out walking around the lake. Up to no good.
What about mom?
Good times, good times. So I've asked you about what would you like to have in your garden. What has been your favorite smoke through the years? What has been, I'm sure you've tried a few.
Out of the first one that I liked was that first cross of the G13 and the cowboy cookies. Before I even read up on the cowboy cookies, I smelled like the garlic, the hint of garlic, and then like the taste was reminding me like a old, like a old cowboy, like taste, like a leather taste, like no, it was weird. Like almost like a dirt road, kind of like out in the sticks, kind of like that's what it reminded me. Not necessarily a cowboy, but more like that ranch type. But that to answer your question, well, that would have been the first one right there. That actually grew that I actually liked. And then like the second one that I grew that was supposed to be of that same one that was showing a different phenol of it. It was all right, but it wasn't as potent as that first one was. And it wasn't, and that one wasn't mature. They were both mature. They kept falling over on me. Every time I tried to straighten them up like this, the fucker kept bloop, bloop, or bloop. And it's like, well, fuck, man. After that's about the fourth time, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Drop. And I just let it hang at the point. I'm like, well, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Either it ain't gonna do anything, or it might do something. So I have a 50-50 chance. But it was all right. I actually liked it. To me, it was all right. To another average Joe Smo, they might say, that's not my cup of tea. That's all right. That's one thing you gotta look forward to. Not everybody's gonna like something that you grow.
Very true. Very true.
It might be something that you grow that you might not actually like yourself, but somebody else might actually like and might actually put it to use. So if somebody else put it to use or turn it into whatever, why not gift it out to them or, tell them to give you something back in return.
That shit's heartbreaking too, man. Grow something out. You anticipate that first dry, sit down there with that bud. Can't wait. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be
And then it
good
ends
first
up not
round.
being good. And then it ends up not being good, and you're just like, yeah, fuck this shit. And the guy comes over the way, I'm like, here. And I'm like, here, try this out. If you like it, I got more of it. Not a lot of it, but I got more. I didn't like it. The very first one that I liked, that I grew, I liked. The second one that I grew, it was all right. I didn't care for it. I ended up with more of it. Just because I ended up with more of it doesn't mean I'm going to like it. I ended up with less of the one that I actually liked. and that's how it happened. Right? It might happen that way. Not every grow is going to be perfect. And you're going to end up with issues. What I've been told and what I've also learned. Same with life. We all learn. But yeah, I'm like anybody else. I can ramble on about other stuff. Not trying to. My wife's like, hey, you're getting carried away again. Sorry, I'm just fake. I'm in my own little zone. Ain't nobody stopping me, so.
Again, man, I'm glad you're having some fun, man. I'm and again grateful that you were nice enough to come on. After the cancellations, I can't thank you enough, man. For real.
But I'm one of the few people too that have got the curse of what they call bad breath or that bad coffee breath. So like, I don't know if you catch a bad vibe from somebody, hit them with some bad breath, maybe they'll avoid you. Hey, I'm just saying.
You must be a black coffee guy.
No, I like creamer in my coffee, but I've been told numerous times, hey, bro, man, your breath, man, kind of stinks. Like, yeah, I know, I've been told. And don't like it, don't fucking come around me. That is why I don't want to talk to you anyway.
Right, man.
That's what I'm saying. People are like, oh, you're easy going. Nah, not no more. Used to be easy going. Used to be fun. Now I just rather be in my own zone, in my own lane, worrying about me. You know, ain't got a boss hovering over me. Ain't got nobody to fucking answer to other than my wife and my kids.
Important people.
So I had to worry about my health too because I went, I don't like doctors. I hate hospitals. But I have been, like last year I was feeling like really feeling like shit, man. Tired all the damn time. And my doctor made me go and get a blood test done. So I go and get my blood work done. And I'm sitting there waiting. I'm on pins and needles like, fuck, man, I haven't heard nothing back from this doctor, man. The fuck? So I'm scared, like nervous, man. What the fuck, man? Is he gonna tell me something bad? And then we get the call from the doctor, and she says, "Well, you got low carbs, and you got to go on a low carb, high fiber, low carb diet, and your vitamin D is at 17%." And I'm like, vitamin D? She's like, yeah. So we're gonna prescribe you a 15,000 vitamin D pill or 50,000 vitamin D pill. And I was like, is it gonna fuck me up? Is it gonna make me feel sleepy? What the fuck is it gonna do? And my 16-year-old son and my wife sitting over here and they're looking at me and fucking laughing at me because they don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm sitting over here like fucking scared to death about this fucking pill, man. Like, you want me to take 15,000 milligrams of vitamin D? Like, what the fuck? That's not something normal, is it? So I'm like, hey, doc, can I just go out into the sun and get my vitamin D? She's like, it ain't gonna work that way. Fuck. Now I gotta take Zoloft on top of vitamin D. Fuck, there's gotta be something else that I can take other than vitamin D pills. So that's why I'm saying, I did some research on Google and I looked it up. What other use can I use male plants for? And one of them was the leaves, THCA leaves. And it won't get you high, but it does have some beneficial use. Vitamin D, iron, and other stuff. Just Google it and it'll tell you. I don't remember right offhand, but if you Google what other use of male plants could be used for, it'll bring up a whole fucking list. Just start clicking on them. And one of them, I'm like, well, hell, I can chop up some leaves and grind them up and throw them in my fucking shake. Get my vitamin D that way then. Fuck having to take fucking pills. So the doctor wants me to go back in and do another blood work. And I'm like, okay. So let's see how well the theory of nail plants and vitamin D theory really works. And I'll let you guys know how what my blood work comes back as when I go in. And when it says if it comes back good, well then we'll know, hey, it worked. If it's the same, well then I'm fucked. But either way, I believe, whether it's raw, you're smoking it, eating it, it has some kind of beneficial benefits to it. It got me off of pills. I'm thankful for that. I mean, withdrawals and pills alone are a fucking bitch. I got the shakes, the hot flashes. I didn't get the pukiness. I got shit, so if somebody out there is watching this and you're going through a pill addiction or whatever, cannabis will help. You don't have to go through that other bullshit the doctors try to push on you. Just give cannabis a try. You tried it before and it didn't work out for you, try something else, Maybe that sham just didn't work for you. Try a dab, Oh, yeah, edible, If you're one of the people that are feeling nausea because you're Jones and can't find a pill with it. Get an edible, I help you out.
Good advice.
I tried to help out a buddy that was on the same stuff that I was, and he made me out to be a bigger hater. And it's like, okay, I'll be that person. Maybe one day you'll come around, come to your sense and realize I was actually trying to help you out and not try to fuck you over. And I wanted you to get clean with me, but at the time, maybe you just wasn't ready. Or maybe I just came on too strong as a friend. And I don't really call too many people friends or family these days. I don't even call or talk to half of my fucking family members. So if I call somebody a family, or I treat them as family, and that person stabs me in the back, I take it fucking personal. Very personal. Not to the point where I'll go revenge, but it just lets me know where to stand with that person, and I just won't have no use for you after that. You cut that string off yourself, buddy. You know what I mean? I didn't let you go. You let yourself go.
Yeah, I try not to have negative people in my life anymore.
I try not
Life's
to.
Too short for all that.
I try not to talk shit about, because I don't like shit being talked about me. But if I'm talking shit about somebody, or about somebody, and I know they're fucking shitty, and I'm trying to look out for you as a friend, and that person does something shitty to you, I warn you. At that point, that's on you, man. But I won't fuck with you or that person because of it. I know the person's shitty, and you're fucking with the person that's shitty. I'm looking at you just as shitty, too.
True words. True words.
I had a boss tell me one day, and it didn't sink into me until a while. And he told me, he's like, he said something to somebody, another coworker, and that coworker went back and said something to another coworker. And me and my boss, we worked together for a very long time. It was just him and I. So when these other two coworkers came together, and they came into my boss and I, because we had to actually take on other people because it was just too much work for the two of us. So when this boss said something to this coworker, that went back and said something to this other coworker, and it pissed this other coworker off. After those two coworkers left, my boss said, "Whoa, now you and I both know we can't trust either one of us." And he's like, if I can't trust him with something little with that, and he ran back and told the other coworker, then that tells us that we can't trust him at all. And I'm like, fuck. Good point. After a while, I'm like, yeah, maybe. Maybe you shouldn't have just said anything to him in the first place about that other person. Maybe you should have been man enough to say something to that other coworker, you know? You shouldn't have said something to his best friend. So I mean, there's two sides, there's two ways to look at it. Both ways. Don't be the messenger. I was once the messenger. Ain't gonna let that happen. I should just get fucked over.
It's a tough place to be in. It's a tough place to be in too.
Yeah. But you can't, I don't know. After a while, after being a messenger and you try to help somebody from warn them from fucking with people that are bad and you know that they're bad, sometimes you just gotta let shit happen on its own. Maybe that's the path that they gotta go on. You know, and it's not my it's not my part to intervene with that part of their path or journey. You know what I mean?
Sir, I do. Yes, sir, I do know. Oh, my friend, I think this would be a good place to call this one good. I don't want to keep you up all night there. I see your wife's been more than patient letting you hang out tonight.
He's so excited and he does.
Like, sorry.
When he rumbles his mouth.
Sorry, it just feels good to
I-
talk to somebody else other than you. It's all good.
Well, this is how it works now, though. Since you've done the spotlight episode, that means you've earned your right to pop into any wormhole, any show title that has wormhole in it. Mondays are guaranteed wormholes, 2 a.m. So same Zoom number that you've received tonight is the same Zoom number for the wormholes. So any night that you want to see wormhole on, you want to pop on, hang out, smoke down, chat with any of us, you've earned the right to do so. Hopefully you do pop in and say hello. It's always nice to get some new face, new perspectives on conversation. So hopefully you do. I've had a lot of fun talking with you tonight. You say you're not a white person. Your wife says you are. I have to tend to agree with your wife. You seem like a very fun dude. A lot of fun to talk to. The only reason you may not be a people person is just because you choose not to be. but I can agree with her. You seem like a people person, so hopefully you do come hang out. The other thing I'd like to get from you before you go is the sound bite. I don't know if you've stayed long enough on any of the shows to see what I'm talking about. Basically, the sound bite in my version would be something along the lines of, hey, this is Eagle, and I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 460. You can add whatever you want to before and after that, make it your own. This is kind of the commercial for your episode. You will hear a little I am recording just because I'm lazy and I don't want to go back and cut this part out. So if you could give me a little bit of a sound bite before we go, I would greatly appreciate it.
I'm Yucca 420 Garden, and you can find me at Yucca 420 Garden 1, and I'm talking shit with Eagle at Eagle Garden, and this is episode 460. And is that good?
That's perfect, my friend.
Or did I fuck it up?
No, that's the beauty of the shout outs. Or the soundbite is each one is its own entity. No two are the same. So I'm happy with it if you're happy with it, my friend. And again, keep that invitation. Any wormhole, please pop. But I don't. You don't need an invite. You just need to want to, my friend. So you're always welcome. Hopefully, you take me up on that. And again, for the third time, thank you again for being so patient, man, on the cancellation. I can't thank you enough, brother.
It's all good.
All right, guys. With that, one last time, tell them where they can find you.
At Yucca 420 Garden 1 on IG, and you can find me at Yucca Garden on Facebook. And Yucca 420 Garden on YouTube.
Right on, right on. All right, guys, that does wrap up episode 460. I know you guys have enjoyed this. I've watched it through chat tonight. Thank you so much. You guys know the deal. Random acts of kindness do save lives. Don't be afraid to reach out and help somebody. Thank you guys. Have a good one. We are out of here.